Welcome to Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial, the home for financial advice in a language you can understand. Created by Marc Freedman of Freedman Financial, he and his team of certified financial planner professionals will discuss timely topics that help individuals and families make smart financial decisions. And now, get ready for this week's edition of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial.
Back to another edition of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial. My name is Marc Freedman.
And I'm Marion Gilman.
And we're here to provide you with some financial advice in a language you can understand. Marion, we just got past Labor Day weekend.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, the year flies by like it always does.
Always. You know, I say this every year, so I'm just like a broken record.
Have you ever run into somebody that says, oh my God, this year is just taking forever?
Every once in a while, in the office, one of us will say, this day just dragged by. But it's already it's already Friday. Mm-hmm. I mean, so the week, it seems like time flies. There are some days that seem slower than others.
I think when we were in the midst of COVID,
yes,
that was like the longest days, the longest forever.
I don't know.
It just feels that way.
You know what? It was kind of interesting not to be able to do anything, because we're usually so busy, I think.
Yeah, but
and then
it
to
made
be
the day
shut
longer
down.
because when you're busy,
that's true.
the time passes by.
That's very true.
But
like, we did work during COVID.
We did.
So that was at least kept us occupied some of the time.
Well, speaking about work, it's back to school time, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Kids are going back to school.
Yeah.
Colleges are starting back up. The kids are back in.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're getting some breathing room now. If you're a parent of a child, you get some time for yourself.
I see those kids at the bus stop.
Yep.
They don't look too happy. But.
Well, they're there. I don't think they're happy about waking up so early.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest challenge.
It's a rude awakening.
But, it's really been interesting. They're going to go back to school this year. It's just another year. There's a lot of kids going to new schools, new places. But I think, over the summer, the kids got a little taste of what things cost. They had to buy things. They had to do things. They had to, whether it was just, taking their bike down to 7-Eleven, like what I used to do as a kid, to buy a Slurpee.
Yeah.
Things cost a little bit more. And I think kids got exposed to that a little bit, especially with them using debit cards now. It seems like nobody carries cash anymore.
Right.
So I'm curious, what are you doing? What type of advice are you as a podcast watcher here? How are you teaching your kids about money? How are you teaching them lessons about how to spend, how to use, and frankly, the other part is how to adult? Because one of the things that we're starting to see, Marion, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, I think, as our children, our clients are getting older and our clients' children are getting older.
Yep.
Seems to be a larger and larger segment of our clients' children who remain significantly dependent on their parents, both financially, physically, mentally. They just can't seem to do anything.
It is amazing because I remember, when I reached 18 and went off to college, I was so excited to be on my own. And then when I graduated college, once again, I was really excited to be on my own. I did live at home for a while, but I was financially independent, which just felt fabulous. And it doesn't seem like the kids now actually have that ambition to say, I want to get out of the house. I want to save to buy a home when I graduate college, or, I want to go rent an apartment and be out of the house. They rely on the parents. And they rely on the parents to actually find them houses sometimes or find them apartments, which is shocking to me.
Yeah, there was a story in the Wall Street Journal that was just this past week, and it talked about the increased unemployment rate of children between the ages of 18 and 24, and they say it's getting higher and higher. It's at 11.5% right now.
Wow.
Well, they said actually 9% is the norm between 18 and 24. That means that you graduated high school and you decided not to work, you didn't want to do anything, but it also includes people that are working part-time at a Dairy Queen or wherever, but more than 11% of the 18 to 24% population is unemployed right now, and it's not for lack of looking for a job. They're just not interested in it.
Exactly, and I think a lot of kids nowadays want to look for that perfect job. They want to walk out of school, and I always used to joke, we'd have people that come into the office and thinking, they're going to, they want to be a financial planner. But they want to start with at our
at our
level.
job, right.
Yeah. They don't want to, I mean, when we started, paperwork was first, right? Or, you got to learn the clients. I mean, it was a long haul before we got to where we are today. It was not somebody handing us and saying, oh, yeah, here are all these clients, you take care of these people. So I think that the expectations of what the job might be when they graduate is also deters them from taking certain jobs.
And I think it's interesting is we've watched a lot of our clients' children apply for colleges out of high school, and they're working so hard to build that resume, to get themselves into the right courses, the right classes, set up the right extracurricular activities so that when they submit that application to a college, hopefully they get chosen. And there's a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of work. The interesting part is when you're graduating college these days, that level of effort that went into trying to find a job is nothing like the effort that went in when you were trying to find a college. And, I did this presentation at Merrimack College as the kids were graduating this May. I was talking to a bunch of business school students that were seniors in the business school. There were 32 of them in the class. And this was the beginning of May, and I asked them, what is it that you're going to be doing when you graduate? And I was surprised that, Marion, none of them had a job. 32 kids.
That's amazing for a business school.
Right.
Usually in business schools, the job, not that they're lined up, but there are a lot of recruiters that come to campus, and it is a field where you are prepared for a job. Unlike some of the liberal arts majors that, they might have a broad array of jobs out there that they could go into, but they don't have a skill like accounting or something that's very specific, marketing, that they can actually say, well, I have experience in this area. So that's shocking.
Yeah, well, the one thing that I learned is an assumption that you just shared here on the camera that I found out doesn't happen anymore. Remember when we were in college, there were job fairs. Recruiters would come to the school.
Yeah.
They came and you got to learn about a lot of businesses.
Right.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Seriously?
There's no more job fairs.
Was that because of COVID?
No, they don't do it anymore because
Wow.
because we have Indeed, we have LinkedIn, we have all of these services. So when I was talking to these kids at Merrimack College, and I'm saying, how are you all graduating but you don't know what you're going to do? And they said, well, this job market is really hard. I said, tell me, what is it that you're doing to find a job? They said, well, we've submitted lots of resumes, hundreds if not thousands of resumes through LinkedIn, through Indeed, through all these things. I said, have you followed up? They're a lot because they're not getting the guidance like what we got when we were in college with a work placement where they were showing you, here's what you need to do. Here, giving them the skills, not just here's how you upload a resume, but here's how you prepare yourself for an interview. Here's how to put yourself in front of people and differentiate yourself. Remember, that's what you were doing when you were preparing to get into college. And now it's on you to try to make money. And it's really disappointing to watch the number of kids that are graduating without a job because they weren't given the tools on how to prepare for looking for a job. Look, the school, my son, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually have to say one thing about that, and that is I knew a woman who worked at a local college, and she worked in the I actually forget what you call it nowadays, but she worked in the
career center.
The career center, yes, okay. So, and where she would connect the kids with jobs that were out there, or help the kids prepare for interviews, prepare their resumes. And she once told me, and this was probably about 10 years ago, she said she was really fed up at that time because it was the parents calling her.
Yeah.
To get jobs. I need you to reach out to my son, daughter, and get them into the office, or I want to make an appointment for them. And she would say to the parent, no, you have your son or daughter call me. I am not reaching out. You are not making the appointment.
Well, look, every spring we get calls from random people that we know in the community saying, hey, would you happen to have any internships available for my son or my daughter?
Yeah. If the kids want a job, they've got to go out there too.
And they have to be able to articulate what is the skill sets that they have. Now, I know they're going to say, well, it's just entry level. I don't have many skill sets. Well, you do have some skill sets. What did you learn in school that would give you at least some skills that you could share? Look, I think the kids totally discount the skills that they've built up on social media, whether it's video
sure,
editing,
of course.
whether it's using how to promote social media, all those
Right.
things that they can bring to so many businesses where businesses are negligent in some cases in being able to deliver proper social media perspectives on promoting their own business. They don't know how to do it.
And also, you know, you have two kids that went to business school that one graduated, one almost graduated.
Not almost. He will soon
He will,
graduate.
yes, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. He's a
Yeah.
senior this year, so he will graduate. But, you know, you found, I mean, with your kids, they had some skills that were transferable, even if it wasn't in a particular area, such as, you know, PowerPoint presentations,
Right.
things like that. I mean, where they had excellent skills. And a lot of kids in school, whether they're, even if they're, you know, random majors, I don't know, art, English, you know, math, whatever, they have PowerPoint skills, they have writing skills, they have, you know, Excel skills. So all of this is very helpful.
And if they don't, or if they want to hone up on it, what's amazing to me, my son Jerry always reminds me of this. Dad, if you want to learn anything, there's no need to go to school anymore. This is what he tells me. There's no need to go to school anymore.
Jerry did graduate
Jerry
college.
did graduate, business school, University of Miami.
Oh, that's right. You have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So, but Jerry says, Dad, you just go to YouTube. There is a tutorial to learn how to do anything you want to do. And it's true, right?
We have a client like that. It's really so funny. I was meeting with her last year, and she said to me, she's doing, I don't know, she's doing all kinds of things on her own. You know, she colors her own hair. She does all this stuff. She said, I learned it all on YouTube. And I was like, okay. She said, I can do anything, you know? And it's a great attitude. And she actually learned it all on YouTube.
Right. I mean, if you want to be a social media influencer, not that that's an easy job or something you want to do, you can learn to do it on YouTube. Do you want to learn how to play the piano? You can learn it on YouTube. You want to learn how to change a tire, because how many kids know how to do that these days? I mean,
I know.
I mean, I learned how to change a tire. My father showed us how, and I'm delinquent in that I never spent the time and showed my kids how to change a tire. They know to call AAA or whatever,
exactly.
but that's
But you know
just
what?
as bad. But
you still know how to call AAA,
they know to call
right?
AAA, but still, any skill, whether it's Excel skills, whether it's writing skills, whether it's practicing how to speak, whether it's science, whatever it is, all of those skills, they're all available on YouTube. If you're a parent and you want your kids to be prepared for the real world because you don't think they're prepared when they get out of college, tell them to go to YouTube. They know how to do that. They really
That's
do.
for sure.
They know how to use the internet. You know, encourage them, show them, but you can't start calling for them. They have to be adults.
Right.
It's time for them to take on some responsibility.
And do it on their own. I mean, it's incredibly important.
Yeah, like as we said, we see clients now who have children in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who still can't fend for themselves, right?
And you know what? In reality, we might say, oh, well, it's the kid's fault, but it's really not. It's a symbiotic relationship. I mean, the parent is enabling this as well. If the parent does everything for them and, you know, offers to pay for things for them, then, you know, the kid never steps up to take responsibility. And I think the problem becomes the parent is older, of course, will likely die before the child does. And there is not necessarily the money there to support the children for their lifetime in the manner in which they've become accustomed because the parent has been supplementing their income. So I think that's a real difficulty.
It's trying to find a balance there. I mean, we need to teach our children skills, skills where they can be self-sufficient. I mean, for the most part, when your children get a first job, where do they go to get advice on how to participate in the 401k plan? Think about that. How do they choose which life insurance option, which health insurance option, all of those things? Do they just ask their friends what to do? That's where you can provide some guidance to them.
Absolutely.
That's where I hope they're coming to you to say, Mom, Dad, how do I do this? Or, of course, if you're a client of ours, you know that any of the children of our clients can come with any financial planning questions.
Correct.
We won't charge them anything, just to talk to them, just to give them some basic skills and advice. And, you know, as we're talking about trying to get children and adult children prepared for the real world, we have some speaking opportunities that we are happy to go out and talk to your groups, talk to classrooms, talk to your philanthropic organizations, whomever it might be, on financial literacy. Like one of the best stories that I tell when we do financial literacy programs is I ask the kids, how many of you have a debit card? And pretty much every hand goes up saying, I got a debit card. I said, well, do you use your debit card to take money out of the ATM? And they'll say, sure I do. I said, well, how much does it cost to take money out of an ATM machine? I'll ask you that question. How much does it cost to take money out of an ATM machine?
It depends.
It depends, but they usually say $2, $3, $5, and my answer to them, it's zero if you go to your bank. And they say, but who has time to go to their bank? Well, those are things that add up, those little fees. I mean, generally, people over the age of 50 aren't using DoorDash or Uber Eats, but everybody, it seems, under the age of 50 is. They're spending money on all these fees because mom and dad take care of so many things. Mom and dad still pay the phone bill. They still pay for my insurance. They still pay for X, Y, or Z. We want to try to educate the kids. If you would like us to participate in a conversation with a collection of adults, adult children, even high school age kids, we'd love to do it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're ready to do it for you.
But get the kids on the right path. And when you're young and you're just starting out, the most important thing is to save some money. Make sure you're living below your means, slightly below what you make, and save some money. And that's very critical when you're young and starting out. However, there are some really good decisions you have to make. And it's helpful to have some background and have some assistance in that manner, particularly a 401k. That gets you saving very early. The company might match. So you have some really good opportunities there as a child starting out in the workforce.
You have choices whether you're going to participate in the Roth portion of the 401k or the pre-tax portion. All those are very important questions, and they're great learning experiences. If now's the time for you to get serious about your financial planning and investment management needs, or you feel like it's a time for your kids or a collection of people you know to sit down with us and allow us to just do a financial literacy program for you, we're happy to do that. Give our office a call, 978-531-8108. That's 978-531-8108. Or if you'd like to get our free weekly newsletter, it comes out every Friday, 10:30, lands right in your inbox. All you need to do is go to our website, freedmanfinancial.com. That's Freedman.
2 E's and a D.
Financial.com. Go to the bottom of any page, put in your name, your email address, and it's that simple. Boom, you'll get the email starting this Friday. That's going to do it for us today. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Dollars and Cents. I hope you enjoyed this financial advice in a language you can understand. Have a great day.
Bye. Have a great week.
During today's episode of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial, your host may have discussed specific financial planning and investment ideas that are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations. Please remember that investing involves risk and may include loss of principal. Always consult a certified financial planner professional, qualified attorney, or tax advisor prior to investing to determine what is appropriate for you. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC.